Welcome to the Disney Parks Podcast with your hosts, Tony Casanova from DisneyByTheNumbers.com and Parkhopper John from WDWParkhoppers.com. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast at all times. And get ready for the Disney Parks Podcast.
There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's just a dream away. Man has a dream, and that's the start. He follows his dream with mind and heart, and when it becomes a reality, it's a dream come true for you and me. So there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away. Man has a dream.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Disney Parks Podcast. My name is Parkhopper John. I am from www.parkhoppers.com. Joining me, as always, across the internets in the Thunderdome is Mr. Tony Casanova from Disney by the Numbers. Are you okay over there? Are you safe?
Yeah, we got the, I can't say afternoon storm rolling in, but in evening storm. It's a little past 3 o'clock, so it's a little late.
Yeah, we had, okay, so geographically, Tony is in Orlando. I am right outside of Tampa, and so earlier today we had the storm kind of blow through, and then I knew that about this time Tony would have a storm blowing through. So that's kind of how it works here in Florida. But all that aside, we're going to have a great show. We have had just an amazing week last week. I was on a Disney cruise in Alaska. We were talking about that. If you were listening to us on the podcast, you really should show up on the website when we record, usually on Mondays, but I was still out of town. We had a great little chat about that. So if you want to watch that, you can watch the replay over on YouTube. But we are so glad that you were here. And
while you were doing that, seemed like I was eating my way around Disney World.
Yeah. I saw some of the pictures. I was trying to catch up on Facebook, man. STK looks ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a whole story we'll have to get into. I have a whole little section where I'll do a little review of some of my eatings this week. So, but let's get into it. So this week's show is sponsored by Theme Park Concierge. If you're looking for somebody to help plan your trip, call up Theme Park Concierge. You can do that at 407-257-9973. Or visit them at themeparkconcierge.com. If you tell them that the Disney Parks Podcast sent you, they'll take 10% off your bill. All right, next up in our little mousekeeping here is if you want to sign up for the exclusive T-shirt club. By the way, I have a pile of shirts here for you, John.
Thanks, buddy.
Go to Disney by the Numbers on the left-hand side. You'll see the T-shirt club sign-up form. Sign up. We have exclusive T-shirts. They're nice and soft and cuddly and one of a kind, and you can't get them made anywhere.
Kind of like you.
Yes.
Nice and soft and cuddly.
And they say things like "God bless America" on them, which you can't get printed at a Disney store. So
how political.
Take that, Disney.
Hey, by the way, before you get into it, so I'm on the ship, and of course, all I was wearing was Disney by the Numbers T-shirts.
Oh, yeah?
And I think we're going to have a plethora of people signing up for them because they were like, "Oh my God, where'd you get that shirt? That must be like an old shirt. I don't remember seeing that in the parks." I'm like, "You can't get these in the parks, baby." And so the biggest hit, Jungle Book.
Oh, really?
Jungle Book was a huge hit. The Walt Disney one.
That's always a big hit.
Yeah, not the Carousel of Progress one, but the one that's got the
Walt.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah. So, okay, the other thing is we've been nominated for a podcast award. If you go visit podcastawards.com, this is where we need your help. This is important now stuff for you to do to kind of help us so we could all win this award. This is not us winning the award. This is us, John, I, and all of you winning this award. So you as the listener really are the people that are getting the awards, not us monkeys. We're just the monkeys that put this thing together, but it's really for you guys. So if you go to podcastawards.com, we are under the category of society-culture. You can vote for us once every day using every email account you have. So if 2 or 3 email accounts like me, you can vote 2-3 times a day. Every day at midnight, the slate gets wiped, and then the following day, you can vote again using all the same email addresses you previously had done. So you can do that as much as you can. Do it every day if you can. And then we'll let you know what happens in July. I believe the awards will be announced. So if you can, tell your friends, tell everybody you know. Go visit podcastawards.com, and we're under Society and Culture. Vote for the Disney Parks podcast, obviously.
Does it cost money for people to vote? Because I know
it does not.
There were some other things going on.
It does not.
Yeah.
It is free. But I will tell you this, you will get an email to verify your vote, and it's important that you click on that to verify your vote. Otherwise, the vote doesn't count. So use your email address, obviously something that you can still have access to. They'll send you an email to verify the vote. You click on verify the vote, and that's that.
Right. And this is a big deal. This is a big deal for us because we were nominated a long time ago early on. And, we've gone through some changes. We've gone through a lot of changes. And this is the first time Tony and I have actually had a chance to talk about it. This means so much. I'm still not over the we got nominated. So thank you guys. And it's just an honor to be nominated. And I hope that everybody in the category could win. But secretly, deep down in my heart of hearts, I hope we win.
And there's not a lot of Disney podcasts in this category, so we may have a fighting chance. Okay, the other thing is, weirdly as this may be, I will be at the Orlando Library on June 18th. They're having this whole authors day on the 18th of June. I will be there on a panel discussing nonfiction books. And then there'll be a book signing from 2 to 4 where you can pick up a copy of the book and get it signed. So if you're in the Orlando area on June 18th and you don't have anything to do and you'd like to come out and see me and get a copy of the book Disney by the Numbers, you can certainly do that.
Hey, good timing, Thunder. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Boom.
We should be recording a spooky show.
Yeah, right.
Tonight, we should just record a Halloween show, no matter what the hell's going on.
The other thing is we got to plan our next couple of events. Well, we'll get into that later because I have some comments on it. But we need some things to do. So if you have some suggestions, something to do inside for June, July, and August, because I don't think we're going to want to be a lot outside. You can send those suggestions to the Disney Parks Podcast at gmail.com. If you'll be in the area and you have dates and you have something that you want us to do maybe on cool inside place, certainly, suggest that. It could be in a park, it could be in a resort, it could be, whatever you think. But send those to Disney Parks Podcast at gmail.com. And then John and I will put our little beanies together and come up with some stuff to do as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. Everything that we could do is everything that you guys could suggest helps us out because we, you can only do so many monitor crawls a year.
My liver can only take so much.
That's 20. Oh, dear Lord in heaven. 24-hour Small World Marathon. Next time I see you, Dominic, and I smack you in the face. That's what it's for.
I don't think so.
All right. So is it that time, my friend?
It is.
It's time to get into the news.
And now, Disney Parks Podcast News.
All right, great. Hey, we've got some Disney movie news. Apparently, Emily Blunt and Lin-Manuel Miranda are set to star in Mary Poppins Return, a sequel to the studio's 1964 classic, Mary Poppins, which will be released on December 25th, 2018.
Now, it's interesting because they're calling this a sequel, but go ahead.
Yes. Reuniting the director and producing team behind Disney's hit musical film Into the Woods, this film will be directed by Rob Marshall. The screenplay will be written by David Magee, based on the Mary Poppins stories by P.L. Travers, Mark Shaman, I guess.
Almost like a Sherman.
Almost close. Will be composing an all-new score, and Shaman and Scott Whitman writing original songs. Now, Blunt has been cast as Mary Poppins, and Miranda will play a new character, a street lamplighter named Jack. And we'll get to that in a second. Drawing from the wealth of material from P.L. Travers' 7 additional novels, the story will take place in Depression-era London, when the books were originally written, and follows a now-grown Jane and Michael Banks, who, along with Michael's 3 children, are visited by the enigmatic Mary Poppins following a personal loss. Through her unique magical skills and with the aid of her friend Jack, she helps the family rediscover the joy and wonder missing in their lives.
So it's really not a sequel.
Sequel
means part 2, but there's a whole new character. I don't know.
Well,
maybe my definition of sequel is different than Disney's definition of sequel.
If they're going to use Jane and Michael Banks as now adults in the movie, I guess it would be considered a sequel. We watched Saving Mr. Banks while we were on the cruise, and the way that they did the first movie using the character of Bert, which was obviously Dick Van Dyke. Bert's not in the books either.
Really?
There's no Bert character, but there's other characters along the way. Bert was an amalgam of a lot of different characters within the book. So I think they're going to do the same thing with this Jack Lamplighter character.
Right.
So I think, I thought Into the Woods was a phenomenal success. I love the musical. I love the movie. Mm-hmm. I think the team is great. Emily Blunt is amazing. I think she could probably pull it off. I tell you who else I thought would have been a great Mary Poppins was Kristen Bell. Did she was doing this Funny or Die video based on campaigning for more money for the minimum wage, and really? she did a spoonful of sugar spoof, and she did the whole thing with a carpet bag, and she looked just like a young Mary Poppins. She looked just like her. Wow. And it was amazing. She sang it, she nailed it. She would have been a good choice too. I think Emily Blunt probably has the skills to pull off that's going to be a hard role, because Mary Poppins is a tough character to step into, because Julie Andrews. It's Julie friggin' Andrews, Yeah,
right. Yeah, those are tough shoes. But they kind of pulled it off in the movie, too. So, when they did that live-action movie-ish thing.
Which movie? With Julie Andrews?
No, the Mary Poppins, the P.L. Travers movie.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, they did. So I feel pretty good about it. I think it's going to be great. I'd like to see it. I would love there to be tons more good, high-quality Mary Poppins movies, because, the books are amazing. If you haven't read the Mary Poppins books, you should. She is, though, a different character than they portray her in the movie. She's a little bit more harder edge. Yeah. She is a little bit more hardcore.
Yeah. Well, I think they softened her up a little bit.
Yeah.
The Disney version.
They smacked her around, softened her up a little bit.
Yeah.
Got her to admit to some crimes that she may or may not have committed.
Right. Here's some interesting news. And this is kind of weird-ish, I'm going to say. There's more information about now the Wilderness Lodge. There's a whole new, we spoke about a whole new DVC contract and the cabins and the DVC that they're building. Well, it now has a name, and it's not the name of the lodge. The new resort name for this DVC area will now be called Boulder Ridge Villas at Boulder Ridge Villas at Disney's Wilderness Lodge. Now, I don't know why it needs a new name. I mean, what's wrong with the villas at Disney's Wilderness Lodge? And then the other ones, the older contract is going to be called Copper Creek Cabins or Copper Creek Villas at Disney's Wilderness Lodge. So they're going to have the Wilderness Lodge, the Copper Creek, and then the Big Boulder Ridge, the Boulder Ridge. So it's going to be very confusing over there as to what part of the resort you're in or you're not in. And we're also hearing that the name of the pool area, which is currently Hidden Springs, will be renamed as well. So, and the other thing, I was over there the other day, and when you walk into, if you've ever been to the Wilderness Lodge, if you walk into the lobby, on the right-hand side, you have the check-in desk, and there's the 4 floors above that. That entire wing of the Wilderness Lodge is being transformed into additional DVCs. So they will no longer, and also on that area, now we don't know where it's going to go yet, but on that area was the concierge level area where you can sit and have your coffee and your free whatever you had. But that is going to have to be relocated somewhere else because that entire area is going to be now DVC. If you go in there, you'll see it's all kind of boarded up-ish, so that you can't see in. And if you kind of go outside, if you go straight out the back and you look up to the right, you can see into the rooms. They're all empty. So something is being transformed over there.
Something is amok.
Yeah. So I my brother owns his DVC. His is over there, and he's now. He's like, why does it have to have a new name? That's because they can,
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
That's amazing. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, if you have a collection of magic bands lying around like I do and would like to do something really cool with them, or if you're visiting the parks and you want to be able to change them out at your discretion, if you go over to magicyourbands.com and use Disney Parks Podcast to check out, you will have the opportunity to save 10% on your order. Now, here's the cool thing about Magic Your Bands. They can do custom orders. They could do your own artwork on a magic band. They have also an incredible array of great designs that you can order from, and it's an inexpensive way to change out your magic bands every day of your trip, or just have some really cool artwork on your magic band that you can wear at home. You can act like you're on a Disney vacation when you're out and about. You can just tap on your front door and then use your key because it's not going to work, but you can have that effect in your head if that's what you really are gunning for. So definitely go check out magicyourbands.com. Use Disney Parks Podcast on checkout. Save yourself 10%. Let them know that you were over here at Disney Parks Podcast, and they will do you right. I guarantee. Right. Disney has filed a patent with some new details, possibly about Avatar Land's interactive plants. Now, we've already talked about all the amazing bioluminescent plants and walkways and stuff, but guests who are going to visit the future Pandora, the world of Avatar at Disney's Animal Kingdom, are expected to be able to interact with some of the floral decorations and watch them come to life. At least that's what Walt Disney Imagineers have been hinting at for some time as we inch slowly closer to the quote-unquote 2017 opening of the expansion. Knock on wood. But a new patent filed by Disney about user interactive plants gives a closer look at what might be the technology behind one of the simpler yet fascinating pieces of design coming to the Avatar expansion: interactive bioluminescent forests and plants with life of their own. There's no clear indication in the patent that it's related to the Avatar expansion, but the patent called User Interactive Living Organisms describes, quote, capacitive sensing to detect human interaction with living plants, end quote, and provides an experience that, quote, may be an audio or video effect that is based on the type of user interaction, such as whether the user touched the plant's leaf or stem, end quote. So it's safe to say that it's probably about Avatar.
Yeah.
Now, drawings with a patent, which we'll put in the show notes, show that when a certain plant is touched, in this drawing's case, a tree, would give off an audio experience. In addition, another drawing shows what could be a hidden microphone or audio capturing device. Yeah, that's not spooky at all.
Yeah.
That could be used to further interact with users. For example, before entering a theme park, the user may state his name, which is used to identify the user. Once the plant detects the user and the user interaction device asks a question, the user's response may be compared to the stored voice print to determine the user's identity. The user interaction device may customize the feedback response based on both the user's interaction with the plant and the user's identity, said the patent.
Do we need devices in a Disney park doing a voice match? Do they not have enough information on me that they now need to have my voice match too? I mean, they have measurements of my finger because I use that. They have, I don't know, my credit card, my name, my address, my phone number, I don't know how much more you need, Disney. I really don't.
I can't believe this is you talking. You're the guy that's like, heck, man, sign me up. Hey, you want to?
I am saying sign me up. This is part of that Magic Band experience that you're looking for. Where you walk past the tree and it says, "Hey, John, how are you leaving today?" Or,
hey, boo boo. How about we grab a picnic basket?
Yeah,
hey,
it looks like you can use a little bit more chloroform.
Yeah. The thing that scares me is when they say stored voice print.
I agree.
To finish out the story, just so we can sit and then debate it even further, makes it worse. In past rides like Universal Orlando's E.T. attraction, it identifies riders during the experience, but this seems they wrote neat. This seems neat if it furthers the interaction beyond just repeating a name. If this somehow could allow the guest to carry on a conversation or have a great guest answer questions from an audio animatronic of an AV, the tall blue people and having Pandora, then it truly could push the experience to a whole different level. Okay, first, let me give the answer everybody wants to hear. This is going to be great. I think it's going to be stellar. I think it could have the possibility.
It'll be fun and entertaining.
It'll be fun and interacting. It just scares the crap out of me when you start talking about stored voice prints and stuff like that. And the worst part is this kind of harkens back to when Disney built his plan for Club 33 and some of the other places that had listening devices.
Right.
Because anything that could be used for good could also be used for bad. And I don't want to be a negative dude, but if I happen to be walking by and a listening device happens to catch me complaining about something,
right,
I would like to think that Disney would use that and go, hey, this is something we need to fix.
Right.
If I happen to say something that maybe I don't want anybody else to hear, I would be concerned that it would be recorded and then I will not have a free experience in the parks. I'll be paranoid about what I'm saying the whole time.
I agree with that too.
Yeah. So
I mean, if all the trees are listening, that's just going to be weird. Who's listening? What are they doing with it? How's it going to be used against me?
Right.
Am I going to have security then following me around because I said something?
Well, I don't want to be and this sounds stupid, but really, I don't want to be walking around and then bump into Tony and go, Tony, dude, it's so good to see you. You're the bomb. And all the tree records is bomb, and then from then on in, it's like
security's following you around the park.
Security, subject 701 is entering dinosaur with said package. If I have a backpack on that day, I don't want to be subject to concern. I don't want to panic anybody. I'm just saying. This has great potential to be awesome. Yes, this is exactly what I've always wanted. I want to be able to touch a plant and it go, Hi, John. It's been a long time since we've seen you. How are you feeling today? Happy birthday, John. It's your birthday today. It's so great to see you.
Yeah. I don't think, well, yeah. We'll have to see how it's used and what they really come out and say. It's all speculation now. I mean, we're all speculating about this patent, and we'll have to see how it's really put to use. Hey, Disney may not use it at all. They can't get Rivers of Light to work. I can't imagine they're going to get a talking tree to work.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how all this technology. It sounds really great, and I think it's phenomenal, and I get excited about the concept of it. But what about when it rains?
Yeah, you'll get electrocuted.
Yeah, I mean,
as you're walking on the bioluminescent electrical pavement.
It's 90% humidity, a little bit of a drizzle, and you touch a tree and zzz.
Yeah. Well, let's hope it's low voltage and not high voltage.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Hey, if you haven't, and you can, go visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/Disney Parks Podcast. You can contribute there as little as, I believe it is now, $1. You used to be able to do smaller increments, but now it has to be at least $1. So you can do that. You can do a one-time gift, or you can do a monthly donation. We want to thank our current Patreons, David, Stacy, and Willie. And Eva, we sent you a little gift in the mail via FedEx, so it should be on its way to you. All right, the next thing, John, I wanted to talk about was my crazy adventures this past weekend. It seems like wherever there was an opening, there I was.
Okay, hang on. I just can't leave that one alone. Stop and think about that.
Yeah, all right. I know what I said.
Okay, moving forward.
We first place I went was Disney Springs, or as I'm now calling it, the shopping center. A lot of the stores are open. There's still a place for a lot more stores to open. The space is nice. It's really, really, really nice. I mean, it's a lot of marble and nice tile, and they're a lot wider than like the marketplace walking areas. So there's a lot of places to sit and relax. There's fountains and covered areas and things like that. So I really applaud them on the aesthetics of what they've done down there. There's a lot still more to come. And like I said, I think it'll really be interesting. They did, we'll get to that in a second. Sorry, the first place I went was Deluxe Burger. And this is, if you've listened to the podcast, it was all the nice, fancy, gourmet burgers. And I had the barbecue one, which was like the barbecue sauce with the bacon, and I think it was like blue cheese or something on there. And all these are served like on a brioche bun, which is nice and soft and buttery. Everything was fine, but they were a little on the pricey side. They're about $12 a pop for a burger. And I had the impression, and maybe it was me, wrong for thinking this, but it was going to be like a gourmet, hand-packed, throw on the grill, smash kind of burger, and it was going to be ooey gooey and nice. I don't think they're actually making these burgers. I think they're buying them. I think they're frozen. I don't think they're fresh. That is my opinion, because when I looked at my burger, it looked like this dense gray hockey puck on my roll. And that's not how a fresh burger, having eaten at Wahlburgers a couple weeks ago, completely two separate burgers. I mean, Wahlburgers kind of fell apart because it was hand-packed, it was smashed on the grill, and I think it was different. The burger tasted good. I just don't think it's a gourmet, hand-packed, hand-done burger. The French fries are hand-cut. Whether they're actually really hand-cut or if they're buying them with some skin on them, you all can have that debate. I don't think Disney has time at a quick service. There's a line for this place usually because it is quick service. They will pump out, there's some indoor seating and then there's a lot of outdoor seating. The weird, crazy thing was they have a couple areas where they have these long, like a bar area with these stools. The stool is as tall as the bar. So when you sit on the seat, you're like You're like 4 feet above the bar area, which is down there. So either they have to raise the bar or lower the seat, one of the two. But they're certainly wrong. And when I said something to the manager, because all of the stools were empty, because nobody could sit at them and eat a hamburger. The table was down here and you're up here. He says, "Yeah, we're gonna have to fix something." I'm like, "Yeah, you need shorter stools or a taller bar." So they're gonna have to try and fix that. Then that night, I also went over to the new bakery, the Moretta's Pasterie, and this is a Disney-run bakery with like really fancy schmancy baked goods, and they were delicious. I bought 2. I had the double chocolate mousse chocolate. There's chocolate and mousse in there about 10 times, and that was delicious. I also had a key lime eclair. Now I took them to go because I just eaten at Deluxe Burger. I figured that'll make a great breakfast in the morning. So they put them in this nice box, and I figured, well, these things are going to be a mess when I got home, and they really weren't. They kind of packaged them up pretty good. I had to walk all the way through Disney Springs to my car. Threw them in my car and took off, and I threw them in my fridge for the next day, and they were fine. So, but they were very, very tasty and very, very good. I like those.
Nice.
Well, there are other places down there that I have not been yet, and we may have to have, like I said, I think a little kiosk crawl. There's BB Sausage, which I hear is good. There's the sake place, which is kind of like faux sushi thingies.
Right.
And I hear the poutine is very good. I've heard everybody talk about the different kinds, and nobody said anything bad about any of them. So that's good.
Yeah, I had a crap ton of poutine.
Oh, I bet. Well, being in Vancouver,
brother.
Yeah.
Bar set very high. Have you been to Sprinkles yet?
I am not waiting an hour to get a cupcake. I'm not.
I went with a friend of mine in the middle of the day and waited for 20 minutes. And we got a couple cupcakes.
And what was your opinion? Because what I'm hearing, it's not good.
There is no cupcake as good as a cupcake can be. There's no cupcake worth waiting 20 minutes. I'm sorry. But I will say this. A dozen cupcakes, and I might be off. I just quoted $52. It could be $52 or $54. Mm-hmm. A dozen cupcakes for $50 period. Too much. Yeah. For me in my house. So I bought 3 cupcakes, and then I bought something else.
That's $4 a cupcake.
Yeah. And I guess it's worth, but it's $5. It's like $5 a cupcake if you buy them piecemeal. So I spent anyway. So
I've heard everybody say that they're very dry and moist.
Well, they can't be dry and moist.
No, they're very dry, not moist.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, ours were good. Ours were good. I think I bought it like 4:00, and I think we ate them at like 7:00, and they were okay. They were great. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's a very unique experience. Have you heard about the frosting shots?
No.
So, the little paper cups like you would go into and fill up with like ketchup or mustard. Oh, yeah. They fill them up. I mean, fill them up and then pile it on frosting, and you can get like the vanilla buttercream, the chocolate buttercream. Or you can get the cinnamon cream cheese. Yeah, totally a sugar rush, and it's amazing. So I got a shot of the cinnamon cream cheese like that you would put on a Cinnabon.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So answer me this: why did it take you 20 minutes to get a cupcake? What is so hard about taking a cupcake, putting it in a box, and having somebody pay for it?
Because so many people were wanting to get said cupcakes. I mean, literally.
But how long does it take to get a cupcake or 2 or 3 or 4, put them in a box, and give them to a register person that ring up?
They had 3 registers running.
Mm-hmm.
They had 5 or 6 people behind their filling orders.
Yeah.
They had 3 or 4 people making cupcakes, and then they had the frosting. They got the little window you can watch and put the cupcakes together. Just the sheer amount of people, and it would go faster if everybody knew exactly what cupcake they wanted.
Yeah,
and didn't,
See, that's what I was assuming, that you, from the outside, you don't know what cupcakes they have, so you can't look at a list or something to make your.
They have menus available. They have people standing out there with menus. You can stand there and look at the menu. But I mean, you can also see what they have, but you're not 100% sure what cupcake is which. They do also have, a seasonal cupcake or two, but you don't know what that is. The time it takes to make the decision and pay and all that good stuff, and then there's a little line to wait because they do get behind. The other thing that is so difficult is the ATM, the cupcake ATM thing goes down a lot from what I understand.
Yeah, it was down when I was there.
Yeah, so they have a real problem with that, and I think that they have these in Nashville. A friend of mine goes to the one I think in Nashville. I don't know why the technology is not working here in Florida, but apparently it's not working well.
You made it probably.
Maybe, I don't know, but it was great. No, it's a cupcake, kids.
Cupcake.
Yeah,
go to the bakery.
Yeah.
Okay, next on my list was Tiffin's and the Nomad Lounge over at the Animal Kingdom. I didn't know this, but there's a 4th park. There's my
what?
Yeah, I didn't know, but they even have animals in this park. All right, so let's start with the Nomad Lounge. The Nomad Lounge, I think, is a place we are going to have a meetup because it's very nice. It's very cozy. There's seats inside. There's seats outside. There's a nice big table in the middle, I think would be perfect for a meetup. They have lots of interesting cocktails there. They have some interesting food. Oh, gosh, I forgot the name of the drink I had. I had a very nice drink. It was really, really good. It was made with a puree, which gave it a very different taste. It wasn't just juice. It was actually a puree. And then I had fish balls, and not what you're thinking. It was fish. It was, think Hush Puppy, but with fish on the inside. And they were very, very good. I really enjoyed those.
Nice.
Now, all right, Tiffin's. Let's go to Tiffin's, which is the restaurant attached to said lounge. And this is very nice inside. It's a lot of wood. There's, I think, 3 different rooms to eat in, right? 1, 2, 3. I think three different rooms to eat in. We ate in the Safari Gallery room. When you walk into the room to the left is usually the name of what room you're dining in. So there's a lot of interesting art on the walls in Joe Rohde style. Even in the lobby, they have like these big things with like different pictures from, different places that you can go on an adventure. And some of the pictures are even of Joe Rohde on his adventure in these places. So you'll see pictures of Joe, doing various adventurous things along the way. So I had, I would call this signature dining. This is not on your cheap fare. I had a fish crudo to start, which was hamachi, sliced very thin with some seasoning, and it was very good. I had another. My entree was this chicken, and gosh, I can't even think of the name of it. But me and Kristen Hetzel-Go from Disney Food Blog, right? Disney Food Blog, Dining at Disney. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dining at Disney.
Get it right.
She also had the chicken, and hers was rawer than mine. Mine was half raw. Hers was really raw. So we both sent ours back. They brought out then cooked chicken. But what I will say about this is, on the menu, it describes this great, seasoned, chicken with, spices and things that I don't think I could probably find very easily. But, being Disney and, it's supposed to be like Lebanese and, Indian and kind of Moroccan and African flavors all kind of intertwined. It didn't taste like anything. It had very little flavor for all the seasonings that they were putting on this chicken. But they did comp my dinner because it was raw. The chef didn't come out, but the manager did come over, and he said that he would take the chicken dinner off our checks. So that then made me try dessert. If Disney's paying for dinner, then I'm buying dessert. So I did have some dessert, and that was really, really good. I did enjoy that, and gosh, I can't even think of the name of that thing. It was something chocolate. Oh, yeah, that's all I can tell you.
Was it poop shaped?
No, it was not poop.
Oh, Disney has gone back to the poop idea?
It was not animal poop.
I thought of you the other day, and Catch Can, you can get moose poop.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
It was not, but it was very good. I had a hibiscus drink, a non-alcoholic drink, which was a watermelon drink. That was very, very tasty. A little on the pricey side for a non-alcoholic beverage. And it's not free refills like soda either or pop.
Wow.
So you only get one. So drink it carefully.
Drink judiciously.
Yeah.
Don't down it and go, I want another.
Don't chug it because it's all you're gonna get.
Right.
But it was good. It was good. I would definitely say give it a shot. I just think my chicken lacked a little flavor, but I would give it a shot.
Now, why did you guys order the same thing? Knowing Kristen and you guys, what's up with that?
Because there's not really a lot of, if you're not adventurous, I'm not a fan of lamb. I didn't want to spend my arm for filet mignon. Because I know he's going to have filet mignon, when I went to STK.
Right.
So I didn't want to, get my...
And that would cost you an arm.
Yeah, it was my arm. My leg, and probably some other body parts. So, there's only about 5 entrees on the entire menu. I think there was there's a whole fish. This was the reason, too. There's a whole fish, head on, tail on, and they serve it standing up like it's swimming.
Right.
Then you had head-on prawns. I don't like seeing my my dinner with eyes.
Well, yeah, but that's a food style that's not uncommon.
Yeah. Well, I don't need my food with eyes. I don't need my food staring back at me.
Fair enough, brother.
So there was that, and then I think there was lamb, and then chicken, and the filet mignon.
And so heads on the wall, staring back at you.
So, all right. Next up on the list was back to Disney Springs for a little STK. STK food was delicious. I'm going to start with that. The food is yummy. The pricing is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the weak of wallet. The other thing is, it is not a place to go for a romantic dinner. It's very loud. There's on the first floor. There's actually a DJ right there. There were people dancing while we were eating. They had huge. They must have had 12 to 18 speakers hanging around the dining room that were huge. So it is not a very quiet place. You're not going to go and just sit and a candlelight. It is, it is music, and there's a DJ, and that's what they like. Most of the salads started at $14 and went up. Most of the appetizers, I think, started around $18 and went up. They have some entrees which are not meat related, not steak related, I should say. I had the 6-ounce filet, which I think was $36. I think the 10-ounce was $46, and they didn't have anything bigger than that. They had, like a porterhouse for 2, I think it was like $90. So it's quite expensive. All the sides are $10. I must have had, I ordered cream of spinach, and then we had some potatoes. I'd say maybe 6 ounces of spinach, cream spinach, and that was $10. And the guy goes, "Oh no, it's sharing for 2." You can't share that. I mean, you can, but you're not going to get a lot on your plate if you're sharing it. If you want a sauce with your steak, you get 1 complimentary, and it's about an ounce of sauce in a small little dish that you can dip your meat in. I ordered Bernays. I think Raphael had a red wine. And if you want other sauces or more of the same sauce, it's $2 extra. And then they had, and then they had different toppings. You could have like lobster or shrimp, and all of those, were market price or, some crazy price. They got lots of interesting cocktails. If you want, I forgot what they call those things, like a magnum of like Dom Perignon champagne. They have that. It's $1,200.
Okay.
So if you want to party and party hard, you have to remember they have a couple of these in Vegas. They're used to like the Vegas crowd. A couple bottles of Dom, a couple steaks, yada, boom, boom, a bing, a bang, a boom. I could see the younger crowd really digging this place more than the older crowd, I think.
Do you think that this is a type of restaurant for John Q. Disney goer?
No.
Right.
No. This is not catering to the Disney crowdish. This is, I think the locals will dig this. The younger locals in the area, I think, will dig this. And if that's, if they're going back to trying to bring in the local people back to like the Disney, Downtown Disney or Planet Hollywood or Planet whatever, or Pleasure Island, I think this kind of place will bring that back. And there is on top, so the main restaurant's on the first floor. The entire second floor is the kitchen. And then the third floor is the rooftop, which has got another bar. There's some indoor seating and an outdoor seating, which you can overlook Disney Springs, which is really nice. It's right next to Mary Motors. Get a nice view of Mary Motors. You can see some of the water.
Right.
And you'll get a pretty good view of Planet Hollywood Observatory once that thing is done too.
Is this restaurant on the meal plan or Tables in Wonderland?
Neither of those yet. Possibly Tables in Wonderland. They do take cast member discount, and they'll give you 15% off if you're a cast member. So you can bring your cast member card. I don't know if they're going to do tables. The guy kind of was like, we're not sure. I have a feeling it's going to be a Boathouse place, and they're just not going to do it. This is not part of any group that has a restaurant down there or at Disney. This is run by the One Group, which doesn't have any other Disney things. They did take Disney gift cards, so that means they are connected to the Disney system. So that kind of made me say, well, if you have that, then you could possibly get access then to Tables in Wonderland. So I'm holding out. Hopefully we'll see what happens. So that's it. The other thing I did want to say is the Marketplace bus stop is now closed. The Town Center bus stop is the only bus stop now. And wow. I'm not sure if it's going to stay that way or not. I have a feeling it is because I think they want everybody to go through Town Center where all the fancy shopping is.
Right. And then disperse from there. Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the Marketplace bus stop. They could use it for tour buses or, non-Disney buses, like the Disney Hotel Boulevard bus could possibly go there.
What about taxis?
They did have some taxis there the other day, too, which led me to believe that they might keep taxis there because they were over at the west side originally at that bus area. But that was under construction, so they were over at the Marketplace. But now, I don't know. It's all up in the air. Also, the valet is still where it used to be. It's by Planet Hollywood / AMC Theater. And they have now a permanent built-up kiosk with some benches and things like that. So I have a feeling that's going to stay there. That's not being moved now that they built this permanent area for it. Right. I don't know if it'll go back to Cirque as well. I haven't seen it over there lately. Maybe on the weekends only. I don't know. We'll have to see. Right. And the bus lane on Buena Vista is open. And I will tell you this. If you don't see the signs, you could wind up in the middle lane. There is only one sign. It's very small. Even though it's painted on the ground, bus only, at 40, 50 miles an hour, I can zip past that and not see what the hell that is. Yeah. So just be careful. Yeah.
I will say that I was down there when I went the other day. I did notice how, from town center, we parked in the new parking lot, Lime. Right. Lime. Came down, and it was really easy from where we were at, because it's kind of like concentric circles. Yeah. We went one way, and it's like there's the entrance to the World of Disney, right? And we went the other way, and it's like there's the other side of Pleasure Island. Right. So it seemed from there, actually, honestly, it was a great launching point. Mm-hmm. Because you're just a few steps away from wherever you want to be, versus having to go all the way through and around. So I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. Right. I think they planned it out really well. Although it is a little funny how you have to walk through the mall to get where you want to go, and then to get back to your car, you have to go back to the mall again. But hey, you know what? It's inevitable. And they need the extra space because, they've quadrupled the parking now. So,
well, I'll tell you that. So I went to STK on Sunday night, which was, Memorial Day weekend. Sunday night, we had dinner reservations at 8:45. Okay, that's pretty late. The Lime Garage was filled on Sunday night at 8:45. So maybe there's not enough parking at Disney Springs.
Unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
This is only Memorial Day weekend.
Right. Yeah. What about Orange?
There was still parking over there.
Yeah. The thing about, did you park in Lime yet?
No.
It's completely different than Orange.
Why?
I don't know. I was driving around like, I got lost.
A mirror image.
You would think, and all we have to do is flip it because the main entrance is on the other way. Oh no! It's completely it's awkward, and I got lost in there, and I was lost, and there was hardly any cars in there, and I'm driving around, and my buddy was like, "Dude, you need me to get out and GPS you home? What's the deal?" I was like, "I don't know, man." Yeah. But I'll get used to it. It's something different. I never parked there before. Overall, I'm excited about the Disney Springs, especially the town center. We walked out to, we got to go to the other side of the springs itself, and got to go out on the little deck that they had overlooking the springs. So you're basically facing Morimoto Asia. It's just gorgeous. It looks so amazing, and the glass bottom of the springs that they created. You remember that video they showed last year of the guy shooting out the glass and the paint and stuff? It was so nice. It was so good. Dominic was asking a question, how late do they stay open now? I think pretty much.
I think it's still 10 except for the restaurants.
Right. Yeah. Well, in the summer, I know they're still open till 11. Yeah. Because I remember the parks closed at 11 and the stores stay open till 11.
Yeah. It was funny. I went to, there's right near Sprinkles, there's another sunglass place, the third sunglass place that opened up. And I went in there. There was nobody in the store. There was just one guy working. And I said to him, I said, listen, I don't want you to take this as an insult, but do you have a job application somewhere else? Because you are the third sunglass place. And my prediction is you're not going to last for very long, because how many pair of sunglasses do I need at Disney Springs?
Right.
Here's my prediction. I'll say it on the podcast. The jewelry store, I think, will be the first victim. I think they will be the first to go.
Really?
There is no way you're going to sell that many $24,000 earrings. And I could be completely, absolutely wrong. But I think that's going to be the first place to close.
Okay, so
you've heard it here.
You've never been on a cruise, so let me tell you just a simple story about going to 3 of the most remote cities in the United States. You can only get there by air or sea.
Right.
Everything is brought in via a cargo ship or some type of a delivery via a seaplane.
Right.
If there were 25 stores on the main strip, 20 of them were jewelry stores in every city. Right. You go to Nassau, get off the ship. If there are 25 stores, 24 of them are jewelry stores.
Right. Well,
so when people go on vacation,
but were they selling jewelry at $24,000 a pop?
Well, no. I mean, that number's arbitrary, but we bought.
It's not arbitrary. A lot of the things they were selling were in the teens or higher.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you got to remember they were all diamonds or gems.
Yeah. But bro, I mean, we were shopping for a ring. We were shopping for a little ring for Sarah. It was our 10th anniversary. She wanted to get a certain type of stone that can only be found. Well, it's not can only be found, but it's from Alaska. And we were getting 12s, 24, 35, 5,000. Mm. You know, we found a ring that was in the price range we were looking for, and we got it. But dude, we had to haggle our asses off because it's just, you know, people go on vacation, and the difference is when you go on a cruise, it's different. When you go on a cruise, it's different because usually that's a different type of clientele. Coming to Walt Disney World, I tend to agree with you a little bit more. You know, I can't see spending, you know, $30 for steak, $10 for side, $14 for salad, you know, a lot. I might if I'm on vacation and I've got money to burn and I only go on vacation once or twice a year, if that. Mm-hmm. But, you know, there's comments in the chat room. You know, a lot of people do get engaged at Disney. They might not have the ring. That's a possibility. I don't know. I've got to think that people did a lot of research on that. I think for me, I think the first places to go will probably be the sunglass shops. Mm. But that's just me.
Yeah. But do you need 3 of them? That's the other question.
Well, I mean,
they all sell the same thing. They all sell Ray-Bans and Coach and you know, whatever. They all sell the same things.
But here's the thing, my friend. My wife, just as an example, if let's say she wants to buy some Oakleys,
right?
She's going to go to all 3 stores, mm-hmm. and she's going to find out the best price for the Oakleys that she wants. Right. Now, if they're all the same store, it's going to have to be location. Mm-hmm. You know, so if I happen to be on the west side and she's like, I need to get those Oakleys, and I know they're all the same price, and there's one on the west side, she's going to buy them on the west side. Mm-hmm. If she's going to be at the marketplace, if she knows she wants those Oakleys and she happens to be on the west side or the marketplace, she's going to buy them there. Mm-hmm. The problem becomes when there's like within viewing distance, there's 3 in a row.
Right.
You know? Right. But dude, they're just, all you have to do is go to any of the outlet malls. Every other kiosk is selling the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, sunglasses.
Well, Disney built that. They did build the shopping center.
Yeah.
They built the shopping center.
And the thing is, if somebody out there is willing to pay the rent, Disney doesn't care. It's got the store space.
Oh yeah.
You know, so who knows, man? We'll see. We'll see in a year. We'll see. See what happens.
I'm giving it 6 months.
6 months? Okay, cool.
I don't think it's gonna last a year.
So that's good, man. Thanks for that. Thanks for spending the time and the money to bring back all the news and information from Disney.
Yeah, there was a lot of money spent this weekend. Let me tell you.
The gastro tour of the Walt Disney World Resort.
Yeah. I think we'll talk about it a little bit later. I have some other things to talk about too. Hey, we do have a contest winner, Samantha was correct. We asked, can you name all the different variation colors of the monorail? And they are peach, teal, red, coral, orange, gold, yellow, lime, green, blue, silver, and black. And pink and purple was retired in 2009. And that is correct. So, Samantha, if you could send us your mailing address at DisneyParksPodcast@gmail.com, and we will send you something in the mail. Let's go with this question. How many tons is the Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress, the one here in Florida? How many tons is the gross weight of the Carousel of Progress? And really, probably the only reason that Disney knows this is that they shipped it first to California and then back to Florida. So they do know the gross weight on that.
Right.
So that's this week's trivia question. So that's it. If you want to, follow us at Facebook. We're at facebook.com/Disney Parks Podcast. We're on Twitter at Disney Podcaster. Follow us on YouTube at Disney Parks Podcast. And if you want, email us all your questions and what other comments you want to send to us at DisneyParksPodcast@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for listening, and we will see you in the parks.
The Disney Parks Podcast is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. All Disney parks, attractions, lands, shows, event names, etc. are registered trademarks of the Walt Disney Company.
Like a boat out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through. One wish upon a star, you're